On a gorgeous Sunday in Columbus, we are ready for our Big Ten opener between Ohio State and the 7th-ranked team in the country, coming off a Final Four appearance, the Nittany Lions. And we welcome you into the Ohio State Lacrosse Stadium, one of the best facilities in the country. Buckeyes looking for a bounce-back season, but a major test today against 7th-ranked Penn State, riding a 6-game win streak. Hey everyone, it's great to have you with us. Jack Kizer with former Buckeye and social media star Mitchell Pehlke. Mitchell, you felt this matchup before. It's a big one in the conference. Ohio State, a great defense, but they're facing one of the best attacks in the nation.
Ohio State with a big defense, like you mentioned. Penn State with a great offense. It is going to be a great matchup here in Columbus on a sunny Sunday.
Doesn't get better for the Big Ten opener. We're really excited for it. And T.J. Malone, he leads that Penn State attack.
Captain T.J. Malone, a graduate. Super excited to kind of see what he brings to the field today. His vision as he's dodging kind of does it all, and obviously leads Big Ten in assists with 23.
An early candidate for the Tewarton Award, maybe the National Player of the Year right there in the Big Ten. Ed Sheen, already more assists this season than the last two combined.
Super excited to see Sheen play with his cutting ability and his footwork. Like I said, 10 assists, 9 goals, 19 points. Super excited to see the junior, take care of business for the Buckeyes.
And it will not be easy for Ed Sheen and the Ohio State attack to score on this guy, Jack Frasillon, one of the best goalies in the country. He led the nation in saves last year. He makes a ton of saves with his body. He is excellent in the pipes for Penn State. As for Ohio State, it's Big Tasty. The freshman, Caleb Fehlke, out of Bowie, Maryland. He has been fantastic this season, leading the Big Ten in goals allowed average and is 8th in the country in that department. We are ready to roll from the Lacrosse Stadium at Ohio State. And the opening face-off won by the Buckeyes, but turned right back to Penn State.
Big face-off win here by Tommy Burke. Excited to see what he does all day.
He's been a big-time addition for Ohio State this year, coming from Vermont. This is generally a good face-off team in Ohio State. Burke goes down, limps off the field.
First flag of the day. Tommy Burke does go offsides, and Penn State will be rewarded.
So a man-up opportunity coming for Penn State already, coming in with one of the nation's best attacks, scoring 15 goals a game. Jake Morin from the X feeds T.J. Malone, our impact player today. And a centering pass from Matt Costin. So many threats on this Penn State team. And out of bounds on the backup, it's Malone. So Penn State will keep with the man up.
I think Matt Costin's one to watch out for. Top 3 in points for Penn State. A low-key guy, but a guy that can definitely put the ball in the back of the net for the Nittany Lions.
There's so many of them out there today for Penn State. Like we said, 15 goals a game. And Mitchell, it's a Penn State attack. The ball doesn't stay in one place too long.
Definitely doesn't. Will Penn, Matt Trainer, T.J. Malone. With those 3 guys down there, Penn State is going to have to do a lot of scoring to keep the Buckeyes away. But with obviously Big Tasty in net, it's going to be a good matchup.
Let's go, Will. I want to shoot.
Waiting to have everything squared away after the opening shot from Penn State. And here we go. An opening possession of the game. This is Malone up top. Trainer and Brenfleck on the wings. It's Trainer who whips a shot and saved by Fehlke.
What a save by Fehlke right there. Honestly soaks it in the throat as he tries to clear it now, giving it to mid Eli Fisher. This is going to be a big one for Fehlke today. Really plant his roots. Leads obviously the Big Ten in save percentage.
Clear successful for Ohio State. Yeah, Fehlke has been amazing stepping in for the injured Henry Blake.
Fehlke, a big name recruit out of high school. The #1 goalie in that 2021 class. Obviously got here. Henry Blake had the first start, some injuries, and now Big Tasty in net. Has been killing it for the Buckeyes.
See the starting lineups for both teams at the bottom of your screen. Is Ohio State on the attack here, and a shot goes wide from Thomas Greenblatt, the transfer from Binghamton. High expectations for him coming into the season, Mitchell.
Preseason All-American for Thomas. A little bit shaky start, but obviously getting the start today.
Here he is. Defended closely by Alex Ross, the #1 defenseman for Penn State this season, with Jack Posey out with injury still. On the dodge, Gannon Matthews leading the team in goals scored this year. Quick spin, and a shot goes wide. And on the backup for Ohio State, it's Sheen, so the Buckeyes retain. Last shot from Dylan McGee, the sophomore from Allen, Texas. And a quick shot near the crease and soaked up beautifully by the Penn State defense.
A quick one there for Ed Sheen. Obviously the shot clock's going down. Has to make a quick move and get the shot off before the shot clock does expire. Obviously Penn State comes on top in the line ball.
Ohio State's offense has struggled largely this year near the bottom of the Big Ten in most offensive categories. They've relied on their defense this season, so this is the interesting matchup on this end of the field.
Obviously with Cullen Brown, number 42, just got Defensive Player of the Week last week. I'm excited to kind of see what he does today, obviously matched up with Matt Traynor.
There's a lot of important matchups. You mentioned Matt Traynor, TJ Malone. This will test the Ohio State defense as much as any matchup they've had this year.
And again! And again!
Will Peden straight away, still with the ball. And goes behind goal to Malone. Takes some contact. Wallstrom circling the crease, goes up top. Shot clock down to 15.
Back again!
It's go time for Penn State. Malone at the X, serpents around the crease, shoots, and it's high. Shot clock stops at 5, and Penn State has to go quick here.
Go ahead, Chris! Go ahead! Go, Chris! Go!
5 seconds. Chris Jordan. Quick centering pass. Oh, nearly a behind-the-back goal for Malone, but a stand for Ohio State. Even though it didn't hit Mitchell, that's the skill for TJ Malone, right?
Definitely. We'll definitely see more of that as we come. Like you said in the pregame.
Ooh, that was a vicious swing there by Malone as Ari Allen was able to get it across midfield. And a shot high again for Ohio State, this one from Ben Meyer. Again, Penn State coming in on a 6-game win streak, as hot as any team in the country outside of Army, who just lost their first game this weekend to Boston.
And this is where Ohio State likes to dominate. Get the mismatches, shorty on shorty, coming across the crease, and he scores!
It was near the crease.
And the refs do call it off. In the crease, no goal, Nittany Lion ball.
That was Jack McKenna diving in, and we'll get another look.
Does take a dive, it was not pushed. I think that is the right call.
And that subject a little bit sore for Penn State after the Final Four last year against Duke, right?
Definitely. Obviously, that implemented the new replay call, but Big Ten, as we know, won't implement that until the playoffs.
Yeah, regular season, no replay review for the Big Ten this year. But in the playoffs, that will come. And Penn State losing to Duke despite a crease violation. It was ruled a goal on the field. They couldn't reverse it, as Malone is off the mark again with a shot. Malone with 15 goals, 23 assists, already 38 points this year. Second nationally in assists and points per game. Costin trying to dodge. Whacked by Marcus Hodgins. Ethan Long. Shot clock winding down. It's at 10. Costin circling, shooting, saved by Fiak. A ground ball scooped up nearly by Ohio State. Back towards the midfield line, and the shot clock has expired.
the sideline of Ohio State erupting as the Buckeyes get the ball back. Here's a little replay. Big save by Pehlke there with the foot. Big hit on Matt Costin. I hope he's okay.
What have you seen from this Ohio State defense so far?
Physical. You know, that's what Coach Myers preaches, being physical, being humble warriors about it, but, you know, laying the wood down and obviously playing physical, you know, Buckeye lacrosse has been exciting, and obviously a player to watch out for is obviously Cullen Brown, fifth-year captain as well, Jacob Snyder.
Now, it looks like it's going to be Penn State possession here. The referees just came to the sideline, and Nick Myers is not happy about the call. Did you see anything there that could have reversed what happened?
I don't know specifically. With the reset as well, Coach Myers is not happy. Palms are up. It's Penn State ball.
And it's Wallstrom taking over. Against this Penn State attack has been nearly impossible to start or to stop so far this season after an opening loss to Colgate. Malone, quick near the crease, and a bouncing ball just went straight up to Pehlke.
With Johnny Cool bringing the ball up here. A little fast break opportunity for Ohio State. Let's see if they capitalize.
It seems like they're going to need to capitalize on that today.
That's the big pointer for them, I think, with Big Tasties. Saving ability, them getting it up and out, I think that's important.
Easy save there for Frassion, and back comes Penn State. Again, 6-1 this season, Big Ten opener for both teams. One of the nation's best attacks for Penn State against a really strong defense for Ohio State, top 15 in the country in most defensive categories.
I think that's what Coach Myers, you know, preaches about his program. Obviously, being a recent graduate of the team, you know, defense wins championships in his mind, and that's something that he obviously preaches and he feels is part of the Buckeye way.
And Jeff Tambroni knows that. It's going to be a tactical, detailed plan for Nick Myers almost every single time. He was really impressed by that.
Absolutely.
Ohio State stands again and trying to capitalize early at home. Coming off a loss to Denver here on Sunday. 7th-ranked team in the country. Ohio State had a low-scoring game, but they lost it 9-6.
I think if you look at the Buckeye record with 5-4, all 4 of those losses being to top 10 opponents. And I think their record doesn't speak to what it actually says.
Ball loose here and scooped up by Ohio State. One of the top teams in the country according to ground balls. And a timeout. It's our first break. We've had action so far. Plenty of shots, but no goals for either team. Jeff Tambroni leading a Penn State team that's coming off its second Final Four appearance. He's led this program to both of its Final Four appearances in program history. We mentioned he knew it was going to be a difficult matchup with the tactics on the defensive side from Nick Myers' squad.
Yeah, with Coach Myers, again, he preaches defense in his 16th season being the Ohio State head coach. They're really excited to see this matchup with obviously the loaded Penn State attack and the loaded Ohio State defense.
Coach Myers, a man of few words sometimes, but really loves his players, as you experienced.
Absolutely. You know, I learned a lot, you know, being coached under Coach Myers, and obviously on and off the field. I'll forever take that with me.
Jack Kizer with Buckeye grad Mitchell Pehlke. Great to have you with us today. That was a quick shot near side for Ohio State coming around the crease, and Jack McKenna. Neither team's been able to strike so far. We mentioned the Ohio State defense being really strong. This Penn State defense, no slouch itself, Mitchell.
Can't look over Penn State defense. Obviously, with Jack McKenna, transfer from Fairfield, tries to take a quick shot, doesn't go. And Penn State, you know, being the smarter team with the backup, their ball, and obviously they're trying to strike now.
Top 10 in the country, Penn State in goals allowed average, led by Frassion in the pipes. Again, one of the best goalies in the country, but Pehlke quickly making a name for himself in the pipes for Ohio State, the freshman. Costin, fastball, bouncer, and it's in. Penn State strikes first.
Matt Costin with a traditional fundamental play here. Overhand bouncer to Big Tasty's offside. One of the hardest shots in lacrosse to save, obviously, with them striking first. But fundamentals, that's what Coach Tambroni obviously preaches in Happy Valley. Fundamentals win games, and obviously we see that here with Penn State striking first.
And Ohio State wins the face-off after the 14th goal for Costin, one of so many weapons. Jeff Tambroni, when we spoke to him earlier this week, said Costin is the most consistent midi that we've had this year. That's pretty high praise.
He's a guy in the field that I truly feel can do all. You can put him at X, you can run him through the box. He's a guy that can make both sides of the ball.
Ooh, that goes off the pipe near side on the shot driving in from Marnier. The transfer, or not the transfer, last 2 years really hasn't played much, but he stepped up in a big way this year. Physical play here, scooped up by Penn State. Centering pass, Malone, Pehlke the save.
Greg Langemeyer on the transfer here. The fast break aspect for Ohio State is going to be huge. Pass to Sheen, to Ari Allen.
Here's Allen spinning and checked hard. Out comes the flag. It was a shove in the back by Alex Ross.
So Penn State an opportunity, what we call potentially a free goal here. Like you said, Alex Marnier was a defenseman coming in from Canada. Played 2 years of defense, and Myers made the change to put a shorty in a stick and play on offensive side of the ball, and this is tied, three-way tie for goals this year for the Buckeyes at 15.
Here he is, Marnier takes another shot. Frassion vacuums it up.
And we talked about it in the beginning of the broadcast, but the goalie matchup here is going to be the one to watch. I think with Frassion and Pehlke both in cage, I feel like that's the biggest aspect of this game.
And this is the penalty, Mitchell, that leads to this man-up opportunity for Ohio State.
Cole is spot on there. I think, Ohio State coming in with the first man-up of the day. Let's see what they can do.
So you see 6-on-5 here for the Buckeyes. Man-up opportunity. You were in this program in these types of situations as of last year. What's their focus in this situation?
Coach Myers, without a doubt, does not take this opportunity lightly. The man-up opportunity for any Division I lacrosse program is big. And obviously in the Big Ten play, you don't get much of it. But Marnier with the shot, and he scores.
Upstairs, right past Frassion, and we're tied.
Alex Marnier, coming from Canada, comes in as a pull. Coach Myers makes him an offensive threat this year and now leads the Buckeyes in goals with 16. Number 45, Alex Marnier.
He's on a 9-game goal streak. He's been hot this season. He played in 9 total games the last 2 years. He didn't take a single shot the last 2 years, and now he leads the team in scoring.
Was obviously going against him in practice last year, and now Coach made the switch. And with Canadians, those guys playing indoor box, you're playing both offense and defense. And with Coach Myers' big Canadian background, saw the potential and made the switch, and it's obviously working out for the Buckeyes.
Comes in skilled, versatile, been a big addition as far as the key players for Ohio State this year. They've got the ball again, a chance to take the lead. Scoring on the man-up chance. 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter.
And another one here, Blake Island, came in as a short stick D midi, had a couple transition goals early in his career, and coach has made him into an offensive midi. Obviously a big threat for the Buckeyes, up there in the scoring.
Had a hat trick against Notre Dame earlier this year, a game that Ohio State lost by 3. Physical play. Island has it taken away, and a turnover for Ohio State.
This is big here. Penn State opportunity, fast break.
Look at that pass in transition. Near side trainer recollects, and Penn State will set up. That was a gorgeous behind the back flick from Chase Mullins in transition for Penn State.
A little flair from Chase Mullins, a highly talented Fogo coming out of high school. Obviously still dominating here in the Big Ten.
Has the best face-off percentage on the team. You'll see Mullins and Colby Baldwin, the true freshman, at the face-off dot for Penn State today.
I think a key player to watch out for is Kyle Lehman, a freshman, a little bit hurt in the fall, but has come onto the scene and has scored as almost every game. A freshman that has continued to kill it.
Malone misses the shot, still scoreless, and took the contact as well. Look at this in transition here.
A little behind the back from a long stick. This is just the plays you want to see in lacrosse.
On the drive, and it was knocked away.
Lehman in the crease, Ohio State ball. Big K-State peeking it up. Buckeyes, here we come.
It's felt like it's been pretty even so far, would you say?
Yeah, I think it's definitely been even. Again, the defensive battle for both teams is going to be the stressor. And I think, let's see what offense obviously comes out on top. But for defense, that's where the strong suits are for both teams.
Big part of the reason Penn State was able to get to the Final Four last year was that attack on top of the defense. Losing to Duke by 1 in overtime in controversial fashion, like we mentioned. Trying to get back to Lincoln Financial this year in championship weekend.
I think a big miss for the Penn State Lions right now is Captain Jack Posey. Tore his ACL in that quarterfinal game. Right there.
What a feed to the far post there, and Sheen the delivery. Mitchell, that was a quick hitter.
Ed Sheen leading Buckeyes in points this year. That marks his 10th goal. Inside pass, keeping it low on the dunk. Ed Sheen Jr., one of the shiftiest attackmen in all of college lacrosse, puts it in. And that's 10 goals and 10 assists for Ed Sheen on the year.
And Jack McKenna on the feed, his 5th assist. The Fairfield transfer. Ohio State takes command late in the quarter. Burke wins the faceoff for Ohio State.
Obviously, in year 2 with the Ohio State Lacrosse Stadium, one of the big aspects that I've felt is the momentum. I would say, obviously, coming off 2 goals right there. The momentum for the Buckeyes is going to be huge. Sustaining that's going to be obviously very important. And obviously, the Buckeyes come back with their first midfield line and look out to close out the corner.
This crowd is fantastic today.
There's nothing like a sunny day in Ohio. We don't get too many of them.
It is a little chilly, but you're used to that.
Yeah. This is something special the Buckeyes like to do a lot. This inverted action, obviously with Mayer behind and McKenna with the deep hole. We'll try to switch up the matchups here. McKenna might go out, set a slip pick. But this is what the Buckeyes are all about, is switching matchups in the corners and ultimately below the cage.
And they're running it down here. The quarter clock is at 27 seconds, the shot clock at 20. Meyer shoots and scores. Matches Marnier with his 16th goal of the season. And the Buckeyes take a commanding 3-1 lead.
Meyer has a great poise in that quarter. Obviously, he's watching the shot clock and the game clock. Does a little left to right split. Doesn't see the slide coming, so likes to take a top shelf and score right over it. Off-stick side of Frassion, like I mentioned, one of the hardest shots in lacrosse to save. The off-stick side, obviously a couple of fist pumps, and the Buckeye crowd is electric here in the stadium.
They've had a lot to cheer for over the last 5 to 10 minutes when Ohio State has started to take command of this game. 22 seconds left. Ball still loose, scooped up by Ohio State with 15. Already up 3-1. Quick changes for both teams. In 7 seconds, Caputo striding forward, takes the contact. Last shot, and it's high. That's going to do it for the first. Just the second time that Penn State has trailed after the first quarter this year, and Ohio State looking really strong. Ben Meyer, the latest delivery. Ohio State up by 2. Lacrosse on the Big Ten Network is brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Jack Kizer alongside Mitchell Pehlke, who just left Ohio State Lacrosse Stadium last year. Look at that. The Rose not too long ago, my friend. What were the feelings like as a senior on that day?
There's nothing like playing Buckeye lacrosse. I tell recruits that, I tell current guys. As alumni, we talk about it all the time, but I still remember that, you know, walking out with the Rose, hugging my mom and dad, and that was a wrap to my Buckeye career.
You've been back a lot, though.
Have been back. I think this marks number 5 since May, but proud alumni.
They can't keep you away. You're going to be the guy that just won't leave the program. No, man. It's a blast to have you on BTN today, back at the old stomping grounds. And, hey, Ohio State off to a really nice start in that first quarter.
It's been exciting to see, you know, Coach Myers and the prep he's done, and obviously with the Buckeyes today versus Penn State. If they can keep this going, this will be a great night in Columbus for the men's lacrosse team.
Looking for a bounce back year. Last year didn't go the team's way as there's a shot wide. Flip side to the field here. 5 straight losses to end the season, but they've embraced the underdog mentality this year.
Definitely. I think, you know, with the season we had last year is obviously not Ohio State's top priority. I think coming into this year, they definitely want to prove people wrong. Coach Myers dipping into the transfer portal very heavy in the last year. And obviously with some freshmen stepping up, it's a very new team.
Matthews driving and scoring. 4 unanswered for Ohio State.
Gannon Matthews, a big name transfer out of Cleveland State. We all knew about him. We played Cleveland State every year. But coming down here, look at the way he tucks his stick behind his shoulder and dips his head low but shoots it high. That's a big one for a lot of lacrosse players out there, and the point to the fans to wrap it up for Gannon.
ASUN midfielder of the year last season, had 22 goals, 24 assists. He's got 16 now, so all the guys with 15 coming in, they're trying to one-up each other.
Now they all have 16. But Gannon, a great player. Like I mentioned, we played Cleveland State every year at Ohio State, and he was a guy that the Buckeyes always had to look out for.
He's been on a bit of a cold streak compared to the way he started coming to this program for the first year. But he's been fantastic, leading the team in shots this year as Fayak comes up with another save.
Big Tasty definitely makes this Ohio State Buckeye team, you know, a step above. You know, his goalie play, his communication. We talked to Coach Myers earlier this week. His leadership on the field as a freshman has been very dominant, and obviously we're seeing that success today.
He's a vocal guy, isn't he?
He's a vocal guy. I think a memory that sparks early in the season was at the UVA game. Maybe UVA took a shot after the timer, and Big Tasty got in Schellenberger's face, and we obviously saw that on social media.
Not afraid to get in the mix, fire his team up. Ohio State fired up right now. Again on the attack here. This is Meyer. Quick feed. It's McKenna. Serpents around the crease. Tries to shovel it out towards Marnier. He gets it there. And from the exit, Sheen.
And again, here's where Ohio State likes to play with the shorties. The pick play, trying to get the matchup. Ariane will throw it back to Ed Sheen. Ed Sheen will pause with the short stick attack. Inside.
Nearly a behind the back goal over the shoulder for McKenna. But there's that quick passing again.
That's the invert that the Coach Myers offense likes to run. And we'll see it again here with Ari Allen trying to pick and make a matchup.
Meyer spins, shoots, saved by Frassion, ball still loose, and finally gobbled up.
Frassion with a nice save. Again, the goalie play in this game is going to be very big. With Fayak and Frassion continuing to light it up this game, that's where the game is going to be decided within the goalie play.
Despite Penn State having one of the best attacks in the country, it's Ohio State who's had the better looks today.
Yeah, I think Ohio State traditionally comes in with low-key guys, not guys you're going to get top 10, top 20 out of high school. Guys that are gritty, guys in the shadows that you might not hear of, but then putting in points in the back of the net. You start to hear their name in All-American lists and leading scorers.
Both of these programs recruit in similar ways. The gritty, tough, athletic guys that develop in their program, as Fayak from straight away on a shot from Trainer makes another save.
Don't love that shot by Matt Trainer. I feel like it was a little far out on his back foot, and essentially an easy save for Fayak. And the crowd here at Ohio State is going nuts as the Buckeyes ball.
Wasn't a ton of traffic there, and it did feel like Trainer could have taken another step forward.
Definitely. I think that's the big thing, and especially this kind of second part of the season with Big Ten play, is not forcing shots. I think that's super important.
Bouncing ball just to the right from Matthews. Again, leading the team in shots this year. An Ohio State team, by the shot numbers, their offense has had chances. But talking to Nick Myers this week, he doesn't feel like they've been shooting very well.
I think an interesting stat is Ed Sheen leading the team with 19 points on 35 shots, and Gain Matthews having 15 goals off 65 shots, so almost double.
That was a heck of a dodge there by Sam Burns, scooped up by Sheen. Takes the contact and muscles it towards the wing. Matthews behind goal. Matthews with 8 to shoot. On the rollback, Matthews gets away for a moment. And a pass over the top. The connection not there that time as they were searching for Kurt Bruin.
Kurt Bruin, a transfer from Tufts, obviously, in the D3 National Championship last year. But just another addition to the Buckeyes that Coach Myers made this upcoming season. Again, very transfer heavy, but I think the Buckeyes are adapting, obviously, with the lead today of 4-1.
Transfer portal a staple in the game today as we have a timeout. And Ohio State choosing to dip into that for the first time heavily this year. Still a 4-1 lead for Ohio State over the 7th-ranked Nittany Lions. Here's Nick Myers, the head coach for the Buckeyes in his 16th season. We were starting to touch on going into the transfer portal and how Ohio State has chosen to do that more this year. Why do you think Coach Myers decided to do it more now?
You know, truthfully, I feel like it's the last year of the big transfer portal. A lot of these guys being fifth years that have the COVID year that their freshman year was taken away from them. And the last year to really dip in and take an opportunity of a guy that wants to take his 5th year at a different school. So it's obviously worked out for the Buckeyes. And Marcus Hudgens with the takeaway check at midfield coming down as a fast break opportunity. Throws it to Ed Sheen.
Here's
Ed Sheen with the shot.
And he scores. Hudgens starting the break, and Sheen finishes again with his 2nd goal of the day.
Ed Sheen, nickname on the team, Steady Eddie. Just with the way he puts the ball in the back of the net. His stats for this year, 11th goal on the year, and that's out of 37 shots. Marcus Hudgens with the takeaway at the top of the net. And Steady Eddie putting the ball in the back of the net. Just what number 10 does for the Buckeyes. Continues to lead the score for the team as he did last year.
Led the nation in shot percentage last year. The most efficient scorer in the country. Is Steady Eddie an actual nickname, or is that just fitting for what he's been doing?
Steady Eddie. He just puts the ball in the back of the net, and it kind of shows on the percentage of shots on goal. It's obviously what he's put in the back of the net. A guy that's not going to get in your face hooting and holler. A guy that's going to just put the work in the shadows.
What a start for Ohio State today. Coming in with losses to top 10 teams, all 4 of their losses to top 10 teams, a couple of them pretty handily. 5-4 in the season, Penn State rolling. That has totally flipped here in the first half. Caputo, Marnier scores again. The Buckeyes are buzzing.
The Buckeyes are buzzing here in Columbus. The bench is going crazy, almost halfway on the field. Alex Marnier, as mentioned, came in from Canada as a long stick midi. Coach Myers made the switch this year to Shorty. A great pass from Caputo. And just the way Alex Marnier is loaded in his position, all he has to do is catch, take that left step, and shoot it. And again, the placement of an off-stick side shot hits the corner, and that's his 17th goal of this season. Currently leads the team. That
trio of Meyer, Matthews, Marnier with 15 each coming into the game. they've all scored, and Marnier has scored twice. 6 unanswered goals for the Buckeyes after Penn State drew first blood.
Kind of seems like Penn State might need to make a change here. They're not really getting too many things and opportunities going. Winning face-off just when they're getting the ball on the offensive side, not putting the ball in the back of the net.
Ohio State has dominated the face-off dot today, a big part of their success. Penn State has been under 50% this year. 58% for the Buckeyes this season. And Penn State answers. A much-needed goal coming from Luke Mercer, one of their most athletic players.
Mentioned Matt Costin's shot earlier, fundamentals. And by Luke, this is a fundamental right-handed overhand shot to the low left corner. Sweeping, fundamental, up and over, and he snipes the left-hand corner. And Big Tasty Hawk cannot get there. And he's pointing himself. That's on him. That's on him. I think that's a shot he could definitely save, but an absolute rocket of a shot from Luke Mercer.
Penn State wins the faceoff, perhaps building some momentum here. On the defensive side for Penn State, we talked about how great their numbers have been and not so great for Ohio State on that end. What's changed on the offensive side for the Buckeyes?
I think they're just playing as a team. The ball is obviously going their way, and they're conquering the opportunities that are given them. Obviously, we've seen Marnier put the ball in the back of the net, steady Eddie, like we mentioned. They're just playing great team offense, and I think that's important for the Buckeyes.
Jeff Tambroni, the head coach for Penn State, did mention the athleticism of Ohio State and how they use that to get themselves in great situations. They've been able to capitalize so far today, but Penn State answers, now down 6-2 with under 7 to go in the first half. Mercer just had the last goal. Malone still scoreless for Penn State. Working left. Malone is being hounded. He shoots and bounces it home. TJ Malone's first goal, and 2 unanswered for the Nittany Lions.
Penn State bench matching that energy. And an awesome pick play. Again, the fundamentals that head coach, Coach Tambroni, brings to the Penn State offense is important. I think with the pick play here, Johnny Cool doesn't have the right footing, falls, makes a play. TJ Malone likes to hitch that, and then obviously comes across on Marcus Hudgens and puts that over the top with the high to low shot to the bottom right corner.
Penn State with possession again. Jeff Tambroni talked about the calculated risks that TJ Malone is willing to take and the bravery and experience he has. That was just gorgeous right there.
That's a play you don't see many people making. Obviously, Tourton nominee as of right now, continuing to kill it, leading points for Penn State, and it's exciting to watch him play it. From the fundamentals to the risk he takes, he's definitely leading this team, and that's why he's obviously chosen captain by his peers.
Captain, reigning Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year and All-American, trying to lead Penn State back. And they've scored 3 unanswered. Just near the crease, Wallstrom diving down.
Wallstrom with a little shake and bake on Greg Langermeyer. Maybe a little messy top 10 with the ankle breaker. But this is where a player like Luke Wallstrom likes to go at X against a shorty. Taking it vacant left and going right and wrapping around. It's hard for a goalie like Big Tasty to see that shot because he's already shooting before Luke even gets the goal line extended. For me, that's a huge opportunity for Penn State.
This has turned into one of the crown jewels in the country for lacrosse. This stadium being built last year, right?
Yeah, I'm not biased, but I would say this is the nice lacrosse stadium in Division I men's lacrosse.
With how new it is and the heated turf, we haven't even mentioned that. It's hard to argue.
The heated turf, we obviously have the private shooting room in the back, locker room, right across the legendary Shoemaker facility. Ohio State's kind of bringing it up.
Well, Penn State is bringing up the energy after Ohio State scored 6 straight, 3 goals in less than 2 minutes for Penn State to respond.
We're seeing the momentum swing a little bit in Penn State's way. They obviously have the ball now. TJ Malone attacking a shorty. This is what he wants.
And here it comes. Malone being muscled off his spot. It's pretty strong defense right there by Eli Fisher. Fisher checking him away. This is mano-a-mano. Malone behind goal. And 30 to shoot for the Nittany Lions. Plenty of time here to scan. Malone gets past Fisher. Here's a shot. It was blocked down.
Now that's a stat we'll definitely see. In the film room for the Buckeyes on Monday, you'll definitely see Cullen Brown diving and trying to block the shot. That's what they call a Buckeye play.
A fearless play. Over to Malone. Dodging inside, tries to go low, but it's scooped up. Stick lost. That's why the pressure was coming with Pehlke losing that stick. And on the ride for Penn State, Trainer jogs back, rather Peden.
Here's where you'll see Ohio State take a longer possession here. Obviously the momentum's been in the Penn State way with 3 unanswered. You'll see Ohio State take a long one here and essentially shoot it right around that 20 to 10 second of the shot clock.
Nearly intercepted, ball down, and taken away by Penn State. In transition. Here come the Nittany Lions. Hawes, Trainer, skip pass from Malone, bounces away, trying to save it, and Malone unable to do so. Back to Ohio State.
Opportunities like that, you can't miss a Big Ten play. You get so few of them that you got to capitalize.
Yeah, Big Ten opener today for both teams. This is where the season started to go downhill a little bit for Ohio State last year. Trying to change that narrative. Flag down.
Flag down. TJ Malone did step over, and that is offsides on Penn State. And here we go with the Buckeyes essentially having a free goal here, trying to make something happen.
Again, the offsides call on Penn State after Malone stepped over. And Ohio State taking its time. Matthews rolls back out to the wing. Caputo dodges inside, right in front, and another Ohio State goal. Back to a 3-goal lead.
That is quick Division I lacrosse right there, folks. Matt Caputo from Long Island, fellow Italian, bringing the shakes to Columbus. Coming down the alley and finding short stick D midi Blake Island on the crease and putting it home. Came on the scene as a short stick D midi Blake Island. Coach made the switch this year, saw what he could do in transition, puts the ball in the back of the net, is now running with the offensive middies more predominantly than the defensive middies.
Had to work in the Italian note.
Had to.
Island the goal, started by Caputo. And Ohio State answers in this back and forth first half. Man up chance now.
Now, right now, it just seems like the Buckeyes want it more. It seems like a lot of things are floating their way, and they're playing harder, taking care of the ball more, and capitalizing on so few opportunities. And here come the Buckeyes again with this mismatch invert offense that they like to switch.
Matthews drives it, saved by Frassion, taken away by Penn State and Sam Sweeney. Long pass ahead. Costin can't keep it in though, and Penn State unable to clear.
And those are the opportunities I mentioned. Penn State's gonna have to capitalize on, if they want to make a run and obviously come on top of this game.
.90 seconds to go here in the first half. Penn State scored the first goal, 6 straight for Ohio State, then 3 unanswered for Penn State. But Ohio State and Blake Island reclaim a 3-goal lead with the latest score. Going low, Sheen and Frassion anticipated.
Frassion's there. And Sheen, again, steady Eddie with the shot, but Frassion's there to make the save. And it's coming up with Nittany line ball as they're attempting to clear right now.
What impresses you most about Frassion?
The way he's just watching the stick head of these offensive Buckeyes. I think the way he's not dipping too early, not getting too high on his heels, and just the way he's making big boy saves.
Timeout, 52 seconds to go. Timeout from Penn State. Hey, Johns Hopkins picked to win the league. Penn State picked second. Are you surprised by that?
I'm a little surprised. I think with Hopkins coming in this year, obviously, very predicted and to win, but struggled last weekend. Friday night game under the lights in historic Homewood Field. Lose to Navy right across the street. They can bounce back, and they definitely have the players to do it. But it seems as of now they're not putting the pieces together in order, to win the Big Ten as mentioned.
Under 30 seconds to go here in the first half. 3-goal lead for Ohio State. Penn State riding a 6-game win streak, one of the hottest teams in the country. Lehman turned away. Up top, 9 seconds. Mercer, bouncing ball, just goes past. On the backup with 5 seconds here. Penn State, one final chance. Here comes Wallstrom. 3 seconds. Wallstrom centering pass. Lehman can't control. And Ohio State will head into halftime up 7-4. It's been a fabulous first half so far. Penn State struck first, but the Buckeyes answered in the big way. Going into halftime up by 3. They're geared up for the second in Columbus. 6-game win streak for Penn State. Ohio State 5-4 this year, looking for a bounce back season. After losing 5 straight to close out last year, they've started with some thunder here at home, up 7-4, including a stretch of 6 unanswered in the first half. What a spin for Hudgens.
Marcus Hudgens with the little spin move as a long stick. You don't see that too often. The Buckeyes are trying to conquer here on the offensive side to start the half.
When we asked Coach Myers about Marcus Hudgens, he said, he'll make some plays that just make you go, that's Marcus being Marcus.
A physical defender, a guy that, again, is a low-key guy, but is going to wow you on the field, and better not take him lightly.
3 seasons at Army. He was a second-team All-American. Didn't play in 2022 due to personal reasons, but has really come on strong in this program this year. And the X set up for Ohio State. Caputo centering pass bounces away. Ground ball still down, scooped up by Sheen. Eight to shoot. Greenblatt shovels towards the middle. Caputo down, he shoots, and an easy save for Frassion upstairs. Mitchell, we started to touch on it just before halftime. What has to change for Penn State?
I think Penn State offensively has to change up some things. Running some guys out of the box, put some middies down below X. Switching some things on the offensive side are going to be needed. I feel like their defense is playing up to par, but their offense is just not putting the ball in the back of the net. And obviously we have Matt Costin coming out of the box to start things for the Nittany Lions.
And gets to that X position. Ethan Long back up top. Malone with 1 goal in the first half. One of the top scorers and point producers in the country so far.
TJ Malone having a quiet day. 1 goal on the day, and I think he's going to turn it up here in the second half.
They're going to need him soon. On the rollback, Costin is covered beautifully. That was Jacob Snyder.
Jake Snyder, 5th-year captain from Baltimore, Maryland.
A spinning shot from Trainers turned away, and Ohio State stands tall.
The 5th-year Jacob Snyder, captain, as I mentioned, a pivotal guy for this Buckeye lacrosse team, a guy that has been passed out of bounds by FIOC.
Yeah, Snyder got his degree in real estate last spring, now getting his master's in public management. It's those experienced guys that they've needed to help with the transfers that we talked about in the first half.
Exactly. Jacob Snyder being one of the only guys out of that 23 class to stay back. Obviously, being a pivotal part of the defense, a captain for this Buckeye team, a guy I came into college with at Ohio State and already had the leadership role. Kind of ran our class and is obviously a big face in the defense.
Bouncing shot. Pehlke had it on the far post. Wallstrom had the backup. Penn State retains. Jordan muscled away. Quick dodge for Trainer. Behind goal, it's Peden.
Peden's got him hung up. Snyder inside.
That's off the crossbar up top. It was a beautiful look for Penn State. And Pehlke intercepts.
As a freshman, making that stop that Pehlke just did just shows why he's in net and has the starter. A veteran guy that was trying to clear it there, but TJ Malone right there and Matt Trainer with the goal.
Finishes it off for Penn State. A strong way to start the third quarter for the Nittany Lions.
Just a simple mistake there from Big Tasty. Maybe not throwing the pass as long as he wanted it to, and TJ Malone just being the veteran fifth year that he is. Making the quick move, the ball moves faster than your feet, passing it to Matt Trainer and him putting it in the back of the net.
We saw the good and the bad there from the freshman, right? Pehlke anticipating that pass, but on the clear, not very fundamental.
Not too fundamental, and I think that's an opportunity that comes with time. Obviously not having the most experience through 9 games here, but excited to see what he does the rest of this game.
And Trainer's 25th goal of the season. They take over off the faceoff. Trainer leading the way in goals this year for Penn State, on track for a career season. Leading the Big Ten in shots per game right now, so we give so much love to TJ Malone, but Trainer's been fantastic.
Trainer, just like his brother, Jack Trainer, who's currently in the PLL, comes from a big family of lacrosse. Obviously, Matt Trainer continuing that legacy here at Happy Valley.
Tried to scoop it home going downstairs, and Pehlke was able to stop it.
As the Buckeyes try to clear now. A little fast break opportunity for Ohio State.
Langermeyer. A lot of shots accumulating for both teams. And Ohio State up there in the Big Ten in shots per game. They just haven't been able to capitalize for the most part this year. They have been able to do a better job of that today. Both teams average over 40 shots a game.
The Buckeyes definitely taking the opportunities and capitalizing on them today. And we'll see what Ohio State's bread and butter is here again today with the mismatches, trying to invert at X with the shorties.
Meyer, Caputo, nearly taken away. Marnier. And they circle out with 25.
Here we have Ari Allen, a big football recruit out of high school to IMG, taking the ball to X with the shorty.
Yeah,
That's
great wide receiver at IMG. He is quick, isn't he?
Definitely.
Off the spin, McKenna. Right to the back pipe. Caputo unable to snare it. He finally does off the ground. Forward to shoot here. Caputo serpents around the crease, and the bounce is wide. Didn't have the angle, and Penn State now in the clear. In transition. And they'll set up shop with Malone. Penn State going for its 6th straight win today. One of the best attack units in the country. Held to 5 goals so far, but they do have the only goal so far in the third.
Penn State feels a little bit more poised this second half. Obviously with Coach Jamboni switching things up in the locker room, they feel just a little bit more poised and not taking a bunch of opportunities out of the gate.
Here's Mercer off the check. Bouncing shot upstairs. And wide left as well. Back up from Peden. Peden's been a critical part of this offense, but a little bit quiet today. Trainer. There was a wall of Buckeyes waiting there for him, and the pass scooped up by Wallstrom. Shot clock to 10. What a spin there. Lehman, saved by Pehlke. Bounces out to Trainer. And Wallstrom has it. And a shot clock reset for Penn State.
Shot clock resets are going to be big in this game. This is an opportunity for Penn State to settle after those hectic 10 to 20 seconds. And obviously come down here as they are now with Lehman.
Spinning, Trainer, poor angle, doesn't matter. From the wing, Trainer delivers his second goal of the quarter.
An absolute rocket from Matt Trainer. Again, fundamentals, the low to high, top left stings the corner here in Columbus. Hudgens overguesses, low to high, big tasty dipping, bringing the head low, dipping, and then obviously Trainer going top shelf. A little too late there, and Penn State is within one.
You mentioned the legacy of Trainer and his family. Older brother Jack just graduated last year onto the PLL, like you said, had 32 goals last season. His older brother Tripp, another one, captain in 2018. He played just twice as a freshman, Matt Trainer, and goes into the theme of development for this Penn State program, working his way up to a leading goal scorer role this year and playing big time here in the third quarter on the road.
Playing big time. That Trainer last name is obviously very big in the sport of lacrosse. With the brothers and playing in the PLL, they're a staple.
Matt Trainer perhaps on his way as well. Goal wiped off. Malone thought he had the tying goal, but taken away.
Puts the ball in the back of the net, but Trainer might have tiptoed into the crease.
It was very close. No goal for Penn State, still 7-6 Ohio State, but this quarter has been dominated by the Nittany Lions, who trailed by 3 at halftime. Here's McKenna. Snakes towards the wing and passes up top. Gladstone just inside of midfield, the 6th-year senior from Grove City College. Here's McKenna, and there was nobody home. Might have been a shot attempt, but goes out of bounds. And Ohio State keeps possession.
If Sam Burns picking it up here, that's Columbus native, trying to do what Ohio State does best with the shorties, coming across the crease. Inside, McKenna does not catch it.
Got it into traffic, but McKenna not able to maintain. Ohio State does maintain possession. Shot clock down to 10. Matthews dancing towards the crease. Behind goal, 5 to shoot. Matthews searching. Up top. This is Gladstone. Shoots and swatted down. Shot clock expires. A really strong defensive stand for Penn State. This is Aldridge. Has some space. Aldridge shoots. Pehlke save. Ball down, and Pehlke finally smothers it.
That's a veteran save right there. Off stick. One of the hardest shots to save in lacrosse. And Pehlke's there. Up and out, and now it's Ohio State's ball again.
This has been a quick quarter so far. Already under 5 minutes here in the third. Penn State with the only goals so far in the third, as they play for their 7th straight win. This is a series that's been largely dominated by Penn State, but the last time they were in Columbus, Ohio State got them 2 years ago, 18-9. Extra pass was snuffed out by Penn State. Dylan McGee scoops it up. Ohio State a very good ground ball team. Sheen, 2 goals in the first half. It's Hawes on Matthews. Sheen rolling near the crease, 2 come for him. Straight away, Caputo to his left and way high. thing there's a fence with the fan sitting right there, because that was a heater coming right for some kids.
As we would say, the field goal is good.
Ohio Stadium not too far from here. Everything's packed together nicely on this side of campus.
The athletic campus, as they call it.
It's been a fun day so far at the Ohio State Lacrosse Stadium, again built last year. And the Buckeyes love to show it off here on national TV. Great atmosphere. Trainer, 2 goals already this quarter, 26 for the season. This is Wallstrom, right in front of goal. Peden couldn't corral, and the whistles blow.
Buckeye ball. The opportunities are there for the Buckeyes, and they're pushing in transition.
Quick substitutions. McKenna was muscled off his spot. It's Scarfy on him, the transfer from St. Lawrence University, a veteran presence defensively that Penn State has needed this year with the injury to Jack Posey.
Scarfy's an interesting player. I think in transferring, coming in, not having the biggest name, but playing a pivotal role, obviously with captain and 5th-year Jack Posey out, with tearing that ACL last season, still trying to recover to come back and play for the Nittany Lions later this spring.
Kevin Parnham also dealing with injuries, so Scarfy's been huge for them just to be a rock back there, coming from a really good program in St. Lawrence in D3.
We obviously have Will Costin, Matt Costin's younger brother, finishing off that trio on defense for the Penn State Nittany Lions.
A lot of confidence in that defensive side. Marnier, goal in the first half. And it's Will Costin swatting at him right now. Under 10 to shoot. Meyer, just wide. And the clock stops at 5.
This is an opportunity for Ed to take it to the goal, or to make the smart move and just throw it in the corner. Waste their time, and I think that's what he's going to do.
Would have been royally difficult to score with that little time.
Definitely, and that's what we've seen a lot within the shot clock era. You know, if we have it under 5 seconds, throw it in the corner, make Penn State go get the ball, and have Ohio State the opportunity to make their subs and get the players they want on the field.
That's what they do. And Costin clears. Penn State a chance to tie right here with about a minute to go in the third quarter. The top attack in the Big Ten, limited to 6 goals so far. This defensive performance from Ohio State has really been strong.
It's been strong and definitely surprising from the Penn State offense perspective. Obviously, you know, Ohio State, no knock on their defense, but with the leading attack in all Division I lacrosse, it's a little bit surprising. We've seen a comeback here in the second half from Penn State as they're wearing down the clock to get the last shot here in the third quarter.
It's 24 on the shot clock, 31 game clock, about a 7-second difference. As Malone spins, still stuck on 1 goal. Costin, 9 on the shot clock. Costin hesitates, darts in front of the crease, and goes low to tie the game.
Matt Costin, a shifty. I think the biggest part about this goal was the hesitation. The hesitation was he. See the hesitation? Langemeyer has to stop his feet, brings it back to the right, and a low shot on Big Tasty. Excited to see what happens in his last quarter here in Columbus. Matt Costin obviously tying it up there 7-7. Face-off won by Ohio State. Can they make something happen here within the last couple seconds of the third quarter?
It's going to be very difficult with only 5 seconds remaining. Late shot, and it's wide. And that's how the third quarter will end once they throw the ball in. 7-7. Ohio State led 7-4. But Penn State, behind Matt Trainer and Matt Costin, have tied it up, going to the final 15 in Columbus. A Big Ten opener. What more could you ask for? We are geared up for a fantastic finish between one of the best defenses in the country against one of the best attacks in the nation. Coming up. Fialk and this Ohio State defense has shut them down for the most part, but the last 3 goals to Penn State. What do you expect from this fourth quarter, Mitchell?
I think the Buckeyes need to come back on top. You know, we had the momentum in the first half. Obviously, Penn State took it over in the third. And it's going to start right at the face-off dot with Tommy Burke. And both of these teams continue to dominate in the first Big Ten play of the 24 season.
Ohio State had that surge of 6 unanswered, but since then, it's been all Penn State.
I think Coach Tambroni might have gave the boys a little fire-up speech in the halftime to get them going. Obviously with 3 unanswered, and that will do it for Ohio State. Penn State's ball again.
And the Penn State sideline is very upset about something. What'd you see?
The timer did run out, and Big Tasty did throw the ball. I think they wanted a little flag for a delay of game, but the refs did not give it to him. And it's Nittany Lion ball coming back at it to the start of the fourth quarter.
You spent time with both of these programs over the summer and into the fall. Pretty intense programs, largely led by their head coaches.
Definitely. I would say very similar programs with how Coach Myers and Coach Tambroni do run, you know, the organizations. I think it's very interesting to kind of see how, you know, they uphold the men, as they call them. It's been very interesting to see, and obviously doing a deep dive, in the documentary style on YouTube.
Former Buckeye Mitchell Pehlke with us today. I'm Jack Kizer. And the shot just wide from Costin. Costin had the game tire late in the third. Malone scores for Penn State. Just his second. It's been a bit quiet for TJ Malone, but a loud goal to start the fourth.
Just another textbook goal from TJ Malone. Takes a little pop step, back of his foot, catches it lefty with that right step. He's going up and over and again to that lower right corner where Fialk's not there, and the ball goes into the back of the net. But I think it's just fundamentals from the veteran with the pop step, catching on the left foot, getting the ball on his stick, following through into the bottom right corner for a goal.
This is an absolute battle at the dot right now, and Penn State wins it. Ohio State with a face-off edge coming into today. They held that early, but Penn State has really performed more there late in the game.
Chase Mullins having a great game here for the Nittany Lions. Really one of the key factors of putting them up 1 right now with the 8-7 lead. But I think Penn State's going to have to continue to conquer to get the W after this fourth quarter.
Their first lead since it was 1-0. Mullins 8 for 17 on faceoffs today. Baldwin just a couple of chances, and he's 0 for 2. 11 for 19 in faceoffs for Ohio State. It's going to be a big part of this fourth. Lehman just goes wide.
Kyle Lehman, one of the big freshmen on Penn State, having a pivotal role within this year, a guy we will definitely be hearing about in years to come.
This Penn State program so good at development. A lot of contact there as Morin goes down. Malone's stick is loose. Flag came flying, and it's a clear hold on Ohio State.
A clear hold by Greg Langermeyer. Coming around the crease, and that is just a little too long, I would say. And obviously the flag is down. Langermeyer flicks the ball out for Penn State to start their man up.
And when you say too long, it has to be, if there's contact there, a little bit shorter.
Greg Langermeyer comes up it's just a little too high and kind of keeps it there. I think the big thing, with that short stick deep position is you can't have your stick at that position for too long. It's kind of got to be a check and release, not a check and hold.
Technical foul, 30 seconds for Penn State to go man up, down to 15. Big chance right here to extend the lead. Jordan, Malone, back to Jordan. TJ Malone sets up, extra pass. 5 seconds on the man up clock. Skip pass, Costin dives inside, and the bouncer goes right by the left pipe.
Nice move by Costin there. With the swim move, coming across the chest, bringing it back, just obviously does not put it home.
Ohio State back to full strength now. And the shot clock to 20. Big pick there.
Here's where they like to be, the little mismatch opportunity at X.
Brent Fleck sends it over the top, and Marcus Hutchins has it. Here he comes striding in transition. He can be dynamic. Pass nearly intercepted, ball down, still down, and the whistles blow. It's a timeout for Ohio State. 8-7 Penn State. The intensity's picking up. We can feel it here in Columbus. 11 to go. Dylan Folds, twice he scored in the last 70 seconds. The game winner with 23 seconds left. Not a fond memory for Ohio State and Mitchell Pehlke in that moment a few years back, but a thrilling moment for the Nittany Lions, and we have a thrilling game so far today.
Definitely remember that one. It seems like we were up by 1. Without a matter of seconds, Penn State walked away with a W. So not the most fond memory, but 10 years of Big Ten lacrosse. Couldn't have asked for anything better.
That's former Buckeye Mitchell Pehlke, former Mitty here in Columbus. That was before the Ohio State Lacrosse Stadium was built. It has been a fantastic game today, back and forth. Ohio State led it 6-1, but it's been all Penn State since then. And Penn State stands defensively, but taken right back. Jack McKenna.
That's a big ground ball by McKenna. Steady Eddie here having the ball, and Ohio State has to put something on the board here. Haven't scored yet in the second half.
Matthews trying to change that. He sends it high. Why haven't they scored in the second half, do you feel?
I think they're getting the opportunities. They're just not putting, the shot in the back of the net. I feel, coming out of the second half a little bit flat, but they're definitely getting the opportunities. Just need to conquer.
Meyer tried to feed McKenna back pipe, and it's out of bounds. It feels like Penn State has been in possession basically the entire second half.
The momentum has definitely shifted back to the Nittany Lions sideline. Ohio State just hasn't been able to get anything done. The opportunities are there. They're just not conquering. It might be a little pump up from Coach Myers and that Ohio State bench. But definitely a lot of fans here to back them on a nice sunny day here in Columbus.
Great atmosphere as always. Trainer, 2 goals in the second half. He is battling right now. And this is Wallstrom behind goal. With his left, takes a shot, a tie, but right to a teammate Trainer. Penn State has a chance to extend its win streak to 7. Would be the longest in the country. Fayak out from goal and makes a nice pass. In transition, Ohio State trying to capitalize. That was Johnny Cool who has the feed. Now Ohio State sets up. Haven't said Johnny Cool's name a lot today, maybe the best name in all of sports, but a key holdoff right there in transition.
Definitely a staple for the names in college lacrosse for sure.
He's really elevated his game this year as a sophomore. Matthews dodging over to Caputo. Gladstone to his right. McVicker muscling him. Nothing there for Matthews again.
Matthews likes his opportunity, holding on to the ball with the shorty. As you can see, the long poles are ready to come at any moment.
Gladstone thought about it. Feeds for Matthews. Oh, off the post.
That was an absolute rocket. Might have shook the net a little bit. Frassion's adjusting it, but that was an amazing shot just off the crossbar.
It may have deflected off the stick of Frassion, but it definitely got to that far pipe and maybe the crossbar as well.
And this is a big one here for Ohio State. Got the ball back, shot clock reset. And this is a big one for Ohio State in the rest of this game to get one on the board and tie this as we're halfway through the fourth quarter.
Yeah, already halfway through the fourth. 7 minutes to go in our Big Ten opener here in Columbus. It was a 1-goal victory for Michigan at home over Maryland yesterday. It's been a fun start to conference play. Greenblatt dodging. McVicker on him. Greenblatt goes low. Frassion the save.
Great save by Frassion. Up the foot of Frassion.
This was the last shot. Didn't touch Frassion's stick at all. Just goes off the far post.
Rocket from Matthews.
Some movement here for the Buckeyes. Sheen turns and scores! Matching his career high of 3 goals. We're tied at 8.
Steady Eddie. Gave him that nickname a couple years ago. He comes in clutch for the Buckeyes with the 8-8. Comes up the left side. Predominantly a right-handed player. Comes up the left side and does what we call a question mark here in lacrosse. Comes up the left, question marks to his right. Jump shot. Textbook in the top left corner. Steady Eddie, career high, 3 on the day. And the Buckeyes are tied up here 8, halfway through the fourth.
Ed Sheen had struggled in his career against Penn State. 2 career games against the Nittany Lions, 0 goals, 1 assist. His 3rd goal today against Penn State, and we're tied again.
I remember Ed as a young freshman, and as an upperclassman myself at the time, you could definitely tell he was a big player.
On the drive, and Penn State reclaims the lead. That was Jake Morin going right to the rack.
Jake Morin there saw an opportunity out of the box. Maybe Ohio State wasn't as set up yet. You know, kind of does a little dip up and under here, keeping it in that right-handed stick, and then coming across the top, sees the opening and puts it low. A key one here to put the Penn State Nittany Lions up 1 as we're conquering 6 minutes here in the fourth.
Jeff Tambroni knew the importance of Morin's role in this game, handling the pressure of Ohio State, and he did it perfectly there with his 7th goal of the year.
Yeah, Morin reminds me of a little jitterbug. Not the tallest guy in the team, one of the shiftiest, you know, a low center of gravity, a guy that you could potentially break your ankles, and we might see here something again.
Here he comes again. Penn State trying to extend it to 2 right after Ohio State got some momentum with their 1st goal of the second half. Penn State had the answer. 5.5 to go. Patience here for Wallstrom. Rather long. Long up top, over to Malone. Costin.
Here we go, Justin. Come on,
Here's Long circling.
Here we go, Marcus.
Malone straight away. Costin shoots and scores again.
And this goal all starts with TJ Malone. Obviously being a threat. Torreton, watchless as of now, catches that ball from Morin and takes a step in. That draws the Ohio State defender towards him. Throws it, and obviously Matt Costin puts it in the back of the net. But that goal does not start without TJ Malone putting pressure on the Ohio State defense. Matt Costin putting it in the back of the net. And that puts Penn State up by 2 with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
It's a hat trick for Costin. And a total shift. It looked like Ohio State finally had something. And it just feels like the Final Four pedigree of Penn State and that experience and the talent has really showed up in the fourth quarter in the second half when they've needed it most.
It really has. They came out of the gates firing. The score going in was 7-4, and they came out, started with the face-off, and obviously it's led to the offense, and we've obviously seen that.
Off this face-off, it's to Ohio State. Plenty of time left. Like we showed in our flashback to 2021. Penn State down 1 late in the game. Dylan Folds needed just 70 seconds to win it for the Nittany Lions. Meyer, way high.
This is a big opportunity for the Buckeyes here. 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in the fourth, down by 2. And you can put the ball in the back of the cage to get something going here.
It's Island going right to the doorstep, and Chuck's out of bounds. Still with Ohio State. Sheen continually backing up here. A low-scoring game, just how Ohio State wanted it, but Penn State has surged in the second half. Meyer on Aldridge, shoots, and it's high again.
Meyer coming from York College, another transfer on that list, and a guy that has an absolute shot, a cannon for this Buckeye team that's going to be important.
There's a lot of guys with high velo off the stick. Not shooting very well so far on this possession. Still with it, 10 to go. McKenna muscled away, it's a turnover. And here comes Penn State. Hawes in transition. Grant Hawes going right to goal and scoring. Coast to coast. Penn State up 3.
It was all graduate captain Hawes on this. Picking up the loose ground ball from McKenna, bringing it all the way down. Playing the fast break play as the Nittany Lions do so well. You know, potentially gonna throw it, doesn't, and then stings it on that right pipe. And that's all Hawes, number 16, captain for Penn State.
The glue of the defensive midfield. The youngest of 4 boys. His older brother Will played at Duke. And John, another older brother, an assistant coach for Penn State, his 7th year.
Being able to see that relationship this past fall was very interesting and pretty surreal. Both of those guys obviously having stellar careers.
Frassion the save. Penn State building momentum after scoring 3 goals to take the lead and extend the lead in 90 seconds. You know, Grant Hawes' dad, the head coach at Lebanon Valley College, a D3 school east of Harrisburg. You can often see him pacing at the top of the bleachers in games in State College. You would imagine he's pacing wherever he is right now after that.
Definitely. I think, you know, obviously lacrosse runs deep in that blood in that family. The brothers and obviously the father having a great career as well. But there is no shortage of stress on the lacrosse field for the Hawes family.
2.5 to go. 3-goal lead for Penn State, feeling pretty comfortable right now. They were not comfortable at halftime, down by 3, but holding Ohio State to 1 goal here in the second half. As there's a flag. A little bit too physical as Long went down. And things starting to unravel for Ohio State. Trainer from a tough angle sends it home. That was wicked.
That was a nice shot there by Matt Trainer. Not even an inch of angle there, but puts it in the back of the net. It is 6 goals, and going back to the fundamental piece of what Coach Tambroni preaches for the Nittany Lions. Obviously, Matt Trainer catching it with only a couple steps left above GLE and puts it in the top right corner. There it is. Penn State up 4 with 2 minutes left here in Columbus.
"27 goals now, and Trainer with a hat trick." You can see the explosiveness of this offense. It's come on so strong, Mitchell. Ohio State answers. They need them quick. That one from Caputo.
Caputo, a guy that Ohio State goes to a bunch in situations like this. We had a situation last season where we went to him in the Michigan game, obviously going back to him here. But a guy that's right around that 10-yard line above the crease, catches it, fires it low, and that puts Ohio State within 3 lines.
Capital 144.
Jeff Tamburoni takes a timeout with Nick Myers.
Ohio State, their 4 losses being to top 10 teams, and then the rest of the teams are playing in the top 20. Their RPI has to be up there with one of the toughest schedules in all of Division I lacrosse.
All these teams are going to play tough schedules. It's a fun matchup coming up here on BTN between Johns Hopkins and Rutgers. As we conclude this one, Ohio State, big face-off win there to try and give themselves a chance. Down 3, 90 seconds to go. Island swatted down and scooped up by Penn State. Aldridge will take his time.
And this is where you'll see Penn State do a little keep away to run out that clock and secure this win.
Really impressive win. Penn State rallied in a big way, down 7 against Yale earlier this year to win it 15-14 in overtime. But they've clamped down with their defense along with the offensive surge. And on the doorstep right now with 55 seconds to go.
Leading the game 1-up, Penn State, and then 6 unanswered by the Buckeyes. And then Penn State comes back with 3 unanswered. A back-and-forth game.
You think they have the makeup to do it?
I think they do. I truly do. I think they have the veteranness, the 3 strong captains with Halls, Malone, and Posey, and then a good leader with Coach Tamburoni.
Well, they're 45 seconds away from a Big Ten opening win. That's a good start for Penn State. .30 seconds left for the Buckeyes. Sheen trying to turn the corner. Defense swarms. Alex Ross on him. Now 2 come for Sheen. Ground ball, still down. And Penn State pokes it towards midfield. It's Matthews with 15 seconds. Sheen with 10. Trying to bulldog his way towards the crease. And Penn State scoops up, tosses long down the field, and that's going to do it. A come-from-behind win for Penn State on the road to start Big Ten play when they take it 12-9. Tough one to drop for Ohio State. 5-4 this year. They moved to 5-5 and 0-1 into Big Ten. And Penn State scored first, but then 6 unanswered for Ohio State, and they looked as good as they have all year.
They have, with guys stepping up like Alex Marnier, Eddie Sheen, staying steady Eddie, and Gannon Matthews, but just can't get it done today for the Buckeyes.
They led 7-4 at halftime. Then Penn State started to establish itself in the 3rd and then really take over in the 4th. It was 8-8, and within 90 seconds, Penn State scores 3.
And again, it just shows to the veteranness of Penn State and the Nittany Lions. Within 90 seconds being able to score 3 goals, there's not too many Division I teams in the country being able to do that, and that's a test to Penn State and Coach Tamburoni.
For today, the final score is 12-9. And coming up, it's Johns Hopkins and Rutgers. That'll do it for us here from Columbus. For Mitchell Pehlke, our entire crew, I'm Jack Kizer. Thanks for watching. We say so long from